You don't have a spending problem. You have a dopamine deficiency. Every time you try to save money, your brain literally registers it as physical pain. The financial gurus tell you that you just need more discipline. They're lying.
Discipline is a finite resource, and your biology is wired to defeat it every single time. But what if you could flip a biological switch, making the act of saving feel just as addictive as swiping your card?
Welcome to the Wealthy Challenge. We don't do budgeting spreadsheets. We decode the hidden math of your own mind. Today, we are installing the abundance switch. Let's look at the math of the trap. You get paid. You feel a spike of relief. Then you open your budgeting app. The app tells you to move $200 into savings. Instantly, your chest tightens. Your heart rate elevates. This isn't a metaphor. A 2021 study from the Journal of Neuroscience showed that the anticipation of parting with money activates the exact same neural pathways as physical pain. The insula cortex lights up. Your brain is screaming at you that you are being deprived. So, what do? You close the app, you tell yourself you'll do it next Friday, and then you go buy a coffee or a new gadget just to make the pain stop. You just bought dopamine to silence the neurological alarm. The accepted belief is that saving requires you to endure this pain. The hidden truth is that the pain is a design feature of a broken system. Here's where it gets dangerous. The personal finance industry, the gurus, the budgeting apps, the 9-to-5 scarcity mindset, they profit from your failure. They sell you willpower. They sell you the idea that if you just stare at a spreadsheet long enough, you'll become a millionaire. But willpower is a biological battery. And by 4 p.m. on a Tuesday, after dealing with your boss, your battery is at 0. When your willpower dies, your basal ganglia takes over. And your basal ganglia only cares about one thing: immediate dopamine. Which brings us to the core mechanism you've been missing. Step 2. To fix this, we have to understand reward prediction error. This is the neurological holy grail. Your brain doesn't release dopamine when you get a reward. It releases dopamine when a reward is better than expected. Think about online shopping. You click buy. The dopamine doesn't spike when the package arrives. It spikes when you hit purchase, because your brain is predicting the future thrill of the unboxing, the uncertainty, the anticipation, the immediate visual confirmation of the transaction. That is the dopamine hit. Now, look at your savings account. You transfer $50. What happens? Nothing. The screen just says transfer complete. There is no visual spectacle. There is no anticipation. There is 0 reward prediction error. Your brain registers the transaction as a loss, not a gain. You are trying to compete against billion-dollar algorithms designed by tech companies to hijack your reward prediction error using a boring bank app from 2008. You are bringing a wooden shield to a laser fight. But that's not what they found when researchers looked at high-net-worth individuals. When neuroscientists studied the brains of self-made millionaires, they didn't find superhuman willpower. They found a rewired dopamine baseline. The wealthy don't get their dopamine from the purchase. They get it from the accumulation. This is the abundance switch. It is the ability to trigger a massive dopamine release by watching a number go up, rather than watching a shopping cart go down. But how do you install this switch if your brain is currently wired for the shopping cart? You don't use discipline. You use environmental design and variable reward schedules. Let's break down the exact protocol. First, we have to kill the void. When you move money to savings, your brain sees a void. It sees money disappearing. We need to invert that visual. You need a visual tracker that provides immediate, visceral feedback. Not a spreadsheet, a physical or highly visual digital representation of accumulation. Think of it like a video game health bar, but for your freedom. Every time a dollar hits that account, you need to see the bar fill.
But here is the secret weapon, the variable reward schedule.
This is the 4:15 mark, and this is where the paradigm shifts. Slot machines are addictive because you don't know when you're going to win. It's a variable ratio schedule. Your brain stays engaged because of the uncertainty. We are going to apply this to your savings.
Instead of a static transfer of $200 every Friday, you randomize it. Some weeks you transfer $50. Some weeks you transfer $400. You set up an automated system that pulls a random percentage of your daily income into a high-yield account.
Why? Because you are hacking your own reward prediction error. Your brain can no longer predict the exact outcome of the transfer. The uncertainty creates a micro spike of dopamine every time you check the balance. You are turning your savings account into a slot machine where you are guaranteed to win.
You are no longer depriving yourself. You are playing a game where the house is you. But there is one final layer, the identity shift. As long as you view yourself as a spender trying to save, your brain will fight you. It will seek homeostasis. It will try to drag you back to your baseline of broke. You have to kill the spender identity. You are not a person who saves money. You are an asset accumulator. The language you use changes the neurological pathway. When you buy a coffee, you don't say, "I shouldn't have thought this." You say, "I am choosing to allocate capital to my freedom fund instead." You are taking back control of the narrative. Let's bring this all together. The math of the trap is simple. Your brain hates the pain of parting with cash, and the budgeting industry profits from your failure.
The obstacle was the reward prediction error. Your brain only spikes dopamine for immediate, uncertain rewards. The escalation was realizing that the wealthy don't use willpower. They use a rewired dopamine baseline. They get their hit from accumulation, not consumption. The revelation is the abundance switch. By using visual trackers and variable reward schedules, you can make saving mathematically addictive. You turn the void into a game. The transformation is your new reality. You no longer need to rely on a depleted willpower battery at 4 p.m. Your environment is designed to trigger dopamine when your net worth goes up. You have successfully decoupled your happiness from your spending. By the end of this video, I promised you would understand how to rewire your brain's dopamine response to make saving feel naturally rewarding. You now know that discipline is a myth. You know that reward prediction error is the key to addiction, and you have the exact protocol to apply it to your wealth building. You are no longer fighting your biology. You are using it. If you want the exact template for the visual tracker and the randomizer script I mentioned, I've linked the free download in the description. Grab it, set it up, and let the algorithm work for you. But now that you've fixed the dopamine trap of saving, there is a much darker psychological trigger that destroys wealth the second the money actually hits your bank account. It's called the scarcity hangover, and it's the reason you panic spend exactly 48 hours after payday. Look for the next video in coming week to expose the scarcity hangover before it drains your account again.